You know that feeling when you rehearse a conversation 1,000 times in your head, but when the moment comes, the words just vanish? When you stand there, mouth half open, watching someone walk away, and all you can do is whisper to the empty space they left behind? Maybe you have someone in your life you never got to speak to, not because you didn't have time, but because you were afraid. Afraid that saying it out loud would make it too real, or maybe that it wouldn't matter at all. This is a story about that silence, about the weight of unsaid words, and about a letter that was written too late, kept too long, and never delivered. If you have ever felt the ache of unfinished conversations, this one is for you. I found the letter 3 weeks ago, folded inside an old book I hadn't opened in years. The paper was yellow at the edges, soft like it had been touched too many times. I recognized my own handwriting immediately, younger, messier, desperate. I wrote it the night before your funeral. I never sent it. I told myself it was because you were already gone, that there was no point in speaking to someone who couldn't hear me anymore. But that was a lie. The truth is, I was afraid. Afraid that even in death, you would still find a way to be disappointed in me. I remember sitting at the kitchen table that night, the house so quiet I could hear the refrigerator humming in the next room. Everyone had left. The relatives, the neighbors, the people who came to offer their condolences with casseroles and soft voices. It was just me and the silence you left behind. I pulled out a piece of paper, one from the drawer where we used to keep the bills, and I started writing. Dear Dad, that is how I started. Like I was writing to someone far away, not someone lying in a funeral home 6 miles down the road. I wanted to tell you everything. I wanted to explain why I never called, why I stopped visiting, why I let the distance between us grow so wide that by the end, we were strangers. But words are funny things. They sound so clear in your head, but when you try to put them on paper, they turn into something else, something smaller. I wrote about the last time we spoke. It was 3 months before you died. You called me on a Tuesday afternoon, and I let it go to voicemail because I was in a meeting. I told myself I would call you back later. I never did. You left a message. Just wanted to hear your voice, you said. That was it. No emergency, no bad news, nothing urgent. You just wanted to hear my voice, and I couldn't even give you that. I wrote about the fight we had when I was 17, the one where I told you I hated you. I didn't mean it, not really, but I wanted to hurt you the way you had hurt me. You worked too much. You missed my games, my birthdays, the small moments that I thought mattered. I wanted you to feel what it was like to be invisible. So I said the words, and I watched your face change. You didn't yell back. You just nodded slowly, like you had been expecting it all along. Like you agreed with me. That was worse than any argument. It was surrender, and I have carried the weight of that silence ever since. I tried to explain in the letter why I pushed you away, how I thought distance would protect me, how I convinced myself that if I stopped expecting anything from you, I wouldn't be disappointed anymore. But the truth is, I was terrified of becoming you. Terrified of working myself into exhaustion, of missing the things that mattered, of waking up one day and realizing I had traded my life for a paycheck. So I ran. I moved to another city, built a different life, and I told myself it was because I wanted more. But really, I was just running from the shadow of the man I thought you were. Here is something I want to ask you, and I need you to be honest with me. Have you ever felt like you are carrying something so heavy inside you that you cannot even talk about it? Like the words are trapped somewhere between your chest and your throat, and no matter how hard you try, they just will not come out? If that is you right now, write in the comments, I carry this too. Just that, nothing more. Because when you write it, someone else who feels the same will see it and know they are not alone. And maybe that is what they need most today. Maybe that is what we all need. The letter I wrote that night was long. Pages and pages of things I should have said when you were alive. I told you I was sorry. Sorry for the silence, for the distance, for all the ways I let pride and fear keep me from picking up the phone. I told you that I understood finally why you worked so hard. You were trying to give us a life you never had. You were trying to prove something, maybe to yourself, maybe to the world. And in doing that, you forgot to live. But I forgot something too. I forgot that you were human, that you were doing the best you could with what you knew. That love does not always look like presents. Sometimes it looks like sacrifice. Sometimes it looks like a man too tired to speak, falling asleep in his chair after a 12-hour shift. I wanted to tell you about the day I became a father, how I held my daughter for the first time and thought of you, how I finally understood the weight you carried, the fear that you would fail, that you would not be enough, that despite everything you gave, it still would not matter. I wanted to tell you that I forgive you, that I see you now in a way I could not before. But you were already gone, and all I had was this letter, written in the dark, to a man who would never read it. I folded it carefully and put it inside a book. I do not even remember which one. Maybe I wanted to forget. Maybe I thought if I buried it deep enough, the guilt would disappear too. But guilt does not work that way. It sits inside you, quiet and patient, waiting for the moment when you are finally ready to face it. And 3 weeks ago, when I opened that book and saw my own handwriting staring back at me, I realized something. The letter was never really for you. It was for me. It was my way of saying the things I could not say out loud. My way of holding on to something I had already lost. If this story has touched something inside you, if you recognize this ache, I want you to know that you are not alone. This channel exists for people like us. People who carry unsaid words, unfinished conversations, and hearts that are too heavy to explain. If you need a place where your pain makes sense, where your silence is understood, subscribe to this channel. Come back whenever you need to feel seen. You deserve that. I still have the letter. I keep it in my desk drawer now, next to a photo of you from when I was a kid. You are smiling in that picture, and I am sitting on your shoulders, holding on tight. I do not remember that day, but I wish I did. I wish I could go back and tell that little boy to hold on a little longer, to forgive a little faster, to understand that time is not something you can get back. Sometimes I think about burning the letter, about letting it go the way I should have let go of the anger, the resentment, the disappointment, but I cannot, because that letter is proof. Proof that I loved you, even when I did not know how to show it. Proof that I cared, even when I kept my distance. Proof that you mattered, even if I never said it out loud. There is a line I wrote at the end of the letter. I do not know why I wrote it, but I remember it clearly. I hope you knew. That is all it said. I hope you knew. I hope you knew that I loved you, that I was proud of you, that even in my silence, even in my anger, even in all the ways I failed to show up, I still saw you. I still needed you. I still wanted you to be proud of me too. I never sent the letter because I thought it was too late. But maybe it is never too late to say the things that matter. Maybe the people we have lost can still hear us in the quiet moments, in the memories we hold, in the ways we choose to live differently because of them. I do not know if you can hear me, Dad. I do not know if any of this matters now, but I needed to say it anyway. I think about the last time I saw you. You were in the hospital, and I sat beside your bed, holding your hand. You were too weak to talk, but you squeezed my hand once, gently, like you were trying to tell me something. I did not understand it then, but I think I do now. You were saying goodbye, and maybe in your own way, you were saying you forgave me too. If I could go back, I would do everything differently. I would answer your calls. I would visit more. I would tell you out loud that I loved you, that I was sorry, that I understood. But I cannot go back. None of us can. All we have is what we do with the time that is left, the people we still have, the words we have not said yet. So if there is someone in your life you have been meaning to reach out to, do it. Do not wait for the right moment, because the right moment does not exist. Do not wait until it is easy, because it never will be. Just do it. Pick up the phone. Write the letter. Say the words. Before it is too late. Before you are standing in a quiet house, holding a letter that will never be read, wishing you had been braver. I carry your memory with me every day, Dad. In the way I love my daughter. In the way I try to be present, even when I am tired. In the way I forgive myself for not being perfect. You taught me that, even if you did not mean to. You taught me that we are all just doing the best we can. And sometimes, that has to be enough. I never sent the letter. But maybe, in some way, you already knew what it said. Maybe you always knew, and maybe that is enough.